Hello, my fellow handicappers. This is Weekend Handicapper from weekendhandicapper.com. In this video, we are going to provide picks and analysis for the 2021 John Battaglia Memorial Stakes at Turfway Park, a race that is on the road to the Kentucky Derby. And this weekend, we have several races that are on the road to the Kentucky Derby. This race, the John Battaglia Memorial Stakes, the Fountain of Youth, one of my favorite Derby prep races, along with the Florida Derby, and the Southwest at Oaklawn Park. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Be looking for videos from me providing picks for those races as well, the Fountain of Youth and the Southwest. So let's focus on the John Battaglia first because it's on Friday night, February 26th. So that's kind of cool to have a Derby prep race on a Friday night at wild Turfway Park. You never know what's going to happen at Turfway Park. So many unpredictable variables. Usually it's a crapshoot. If you're a contrarian kind of handicapper that likes to go against the grain, then you should be playing Turfway Park. It's hard to figure out, but every now and then you get some huge prices and payouts. All right, so it's race number 5, again on February 26th, Friday night. Race number 5 at Turfway Park. They're going 1 1/16 on the synthetic track. That's Turfway just got a new synthetic track, so that's another variable. So Kentucky Derby prep race ran on a synthetic track. All right, so let's look at this field. It's a field of 12, and you got to also eligible the 13th horse, which we'll talk about as well. So let's go one by one. Number 1, Gretzky the Great. 3-1 for Mark Casse. It was 6th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Keeneland. But that's been a while. November 6th is the last time this horse has raced. It's primarily raced on a turf, even though it's 1-for-1 on a synthetic track, and that was at Woodbine. It has a class edge for sure. It's a contender for sure, but I think it's a play against. And that's one of the things. I think we need to go for a price in this race. I'm a little bit surprised this race is even a Derby prep race. Looking at this field, I'm not impressed. So I would be searching for a price. I would be trying to play against some of these shorter price horses, such as the number 1 Gretzky the Great. If it beats us, oh well. But I think Turfway nature, the makeup of this field calls for a long shot, which we'll talk about. Number 2, the predicament. 20-1. Here's our first long shot. It's always in the money, but it's stretching out, stepping up in class. I don't know if this horse could win. I mean, all horses can win at Turfway, I guess, but maybe underneath, because this horse is so consistent, you might want to use it at least in your exactas and trifectas if you decide to play those wagers. Number 3, Twirling Mamba. Speed figures getting better with every race. It's a horse for course angle, even though it's only raced one time at Turfway Park. It's won. It came in first at Turfway Park, so it's 1-for-1 at Turfway. So if you like that price at 10-1, if you think this horse will keep improving, number 3, Twirling Candy might be your bet. Number 4, Lake the King. We got Rafael Bejarano riding for Wesley Ward. Hasn't raced since December 4th, but that was at Turfway, and it won that race and fired one of its highest speed figures. It's definitely a contender, but the thing is, don't watch taking too short of a price on this horse because it's coming off a layoff. And then, do you see any positive signs that this horse will do well off the layoff? Has it been working out well? How does Wesley Ward, the trainer, do with horses coming off layoffs? That's all the things you want to factor in before you bet on this horse, but certainly a contender. I probably like this horse, number 4, Lake the King, more than I do number 1, Gretzky the Great. Number 5, Kinetic Sky. I like that name. It's got a nice little kind of flows, Kinetic Sky. Brad Cox, if you watch these videos, I'm always telling you to be wary of Brad Cox and give serious consideration to any horse Brad Cox is training here lately. Even though Nick's go over in the Saudi Cup didn't work out too well. Kinetic Sky, 9-2 morning line. It's won 2 of its 3 races, shipping in from Fairgrounds. Again, you always got to consider Brad Cox. Let's just hope this horse doesn't get bet down too much if you're going with the Brad Cox angle. Number 6, Pico d'Oro. This horse has raced a lot in comparison to these other horses, many of these other horses in this race. 8 races. Hey, last time out, it came in 3rd at Aqueduct. So, and it's 1-for-1 at Turfway Park. So, I don't know. I usually prefer going with lightly raced horses or horses that could be trending up and could improve. This horse probably already showed its cards, in my opinion, what class level it needs to be at, what kind of speed figures it usually runs. So I don't know if this horse, especially at 8-1, if it was higher price, maybe. But yeah, could it win? Yeah, but I'm not too gung ho on number 6, Pico d'Oro. Number 7, Hard Rock Guy. This is an interesting horse. 15-1 closer for Ian Wilkes. Last 2 races, fired some of his lifetime best speed figures. 1-for-2 at Turfway Park. If you like betting long shots, this is one to consider, I think. Especially if the pace collapses and this horse got pace to run into, which it probably will some. But at least underneath in your Zactus, Trifectas, Superfectas. Number 7, Hard Rock Guy should get a piece of one of those placings. And it could, in fact, win, I think. So if you like long shots, this horse, number 7, Hard Rock Guy, you want to keep on your radar, along with these next 2 horses I'm going to talk about. Both nice prices, hopefully will remain nice prices once they leave the gate. So let's look at the number 8 horse, Hush of a Storm. Nice 2-race winning streak. Took a break, so it's been off since January 6th. But it seems to love Turfway Park. If you consider 2-0 winning, raced twice at Turfway and won both of those races at Turfway, loving Turfway Park, that's a horse for course angle. So, and I think that's important at Turfway Park because it's such a unique track. The surface is different. You never know how horses are going to react to that synthetic and before that poly track that Turfway Park had. So in my opinion, you want to, if you know a horse or if you have data on how well a horse can handle that surface or how well it did it like it, did it not, I think that's a huge plus. Especially in a race like this, you're looking for every edge, every advantage that you can get, especially with horses at a price. Yeah, the class might be an issue with a lot of these long shots I'm going to talk about, but at the right price, you ain't going to have to sell me on too much, right? So if I see a horse that's 2-0 on this particular surface, this particular track, at a decent price, 10-1 morning line, I think it's worth a bet. So number 8, Hush of a Storm, I think, is definitely a contender at a nice price. So is the number 9, Fort Moulter. 20-1. This horse is lightly raced. Of course, it's a long shot. It's raced at today's distance, so that you know it could get the distance. Now, it barely won. Today is a whole nother class level. I understand that the horse is going up in class, but these other horses don't scare me. I think that this horse is won at Turfway at today's distance. At 20-1, I think certainly I'm going to put a few bucks on that horse. Fort Moulter, the number 9. If it fires a clunker, so be it. But I think this horse, along with the 7 horse, along with the 8 horse, has every shot to win this race as much as any other horse in this race. And those prices, remember, that price determines the bet, usually. I love those prices on these horses. starting in the kind of mid-pack post positions. Number 10, notable exception, 30 to 1. Here we got another long shot. It's one at Arlington Park, so I guess you could say it did okay on a synthetic track, but that track is not Turfway's track. So I'll pass on this horse. I can't find anything else other than winning at Arlington Park on a synthetic surface. The only positive to this horse. Number 11, Catman. Turf horse. This horse primarily is racing on turf for Mike Maker. Maybe this field, this race, is finally the horse has found the right fit, right? The right field to try to beat. But I'm going to pass on this horse too. I'm going to look elsewhere, of course. So it's rare, though, you have a Mike Maker horse with those kind of odds, I think. But this is a stakes race, Derby prep race, so maybe that's why the connections are trying this race. So turf horse. Now, having said that, a lot of people, a lot of handicappers believe turf horses translate to the synthetic tracks like Turfway pretty good. So it's a nice transition. So if you're one of those handicappers that believe that, then maybe you will bet on number 11, Catman. Number 12, Warrior in Chief, Robbie Alvarado, Kim McPeak train. Robbie Alvarado's the jockey. It's won at today's distance, but that was at Churchill Downs on dirt. Stepping up in class, hasn't raced since November 28th. Too many reasons to bet against this horse, I think. So I'm going to play against this horse. The fact that it's coming off a layoff. So I'm going to skip that horse or pass on that horse. And also eligible to number 13, if it gets in, Wena. I don't know how you say it. But the number 13 horse probably not going to get in anyway. I don't know. So a horse could scratch. I shouldn't say that. But it's also eligible. So those of you new to horse racing, that means a horse has to scratch and not race for this horse to be able to get in the race. So that's why they say also eligible. If the spot frees up, then the number 13 horse will get in there. All 3 lifetime races for the number 13 have been at Turfway. Nice speed figure. It's finished second last time out to the number 9 horse, Fort Moultrie, which I really like. So if it gets in, it might be a contender. All right, so how am I going to bet the 2021 John Battaglia Memorial? This is a wide open race, I think. I think there's no logical horses in this race. The short price horses, many of them are coming off layoffs, and maybe that rest is well deserved and they'll do well off the layoff, but I don't know. I think the long shots have every right to win this race as short price horses. Now, I'm always looking for prices, so that's nothing new, but I feel pretty strong about this. And the fact that it's a Turfway, those that don't play Turfway Park that often, Turfway Park is you never know. There's so many. It's probably the reason I'm bald, because some of these finishes you can't make heads or tails. You can't explain them. You don't know. You don't know why certain horses win. You know, on paper you're like, I would never had that horse. Well, that happens all the time at Turfway Park, and there's no reason it can't happen in a big, quote unquote, big race that's on the road to the Kentucky Derby. So how will I bet this? I'm going with the price. I think you should seriously consider betting some prices here. I don't like the short odds horses in this race. There's no standouts. So might as well take a shot with a long shot, because the field isn't that strong and it's at Turfway Park. So the number 9 Fort Moultrie is my top pick. 20 to 1. Hopefully this horse can, the fact that it's lightly raced, hopefully it can keep improving against this field. We know it likes Turfway Park, even though I think it only won by a head or something. when it won at Turfway. But that price is what it's about. So I'm definitely going to put a few bucks on that. Also, the 8, Hush of a Storm, I think is a very interesting horse at 10-1. And the number 7, Hard Ride Guy, you should use. I wouldn't be surprised if this horse won, but definitely use underneath in your Zactus, Trifectas, and Superfectas if you play that. But I want to go with number 9 for Moultrie. If the prices still stay the same, or as the morning line or close to the morning line, I'll probably put a few bucks on Hush of a Storm. As long as I make a profit, especially at those odds, I have no shame in betting 2 or 3 horses to win, if that's what it takes. Now, if you play pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s, spread in this race, I think. Spread amongst many horses. Try to catch a price, like throwing the net out there, and hopefully you pull in something nice. You pull in a nice price. So the number 9 is my top selection for Moultrie. Number 8, Hush of a Storm, is right up there. And number 7, Hard Ride Guy. Hopefully that horse could close in on the pace and get a piece underneath. So that might be a good vertical wager horse. So for your Zactus, Superfectas, and Trifectas, should be wide open. I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm just going to hope one of these long shots win and get my weekend started off right. I might order a pizza right after race number 5 and celebrate if everything goes right. I might get a Supreme pizza, maybe even some cheese sticks or something to go along with it if it turns out right. But also, hopefully, if I'm right, I can keep going into the weekend, because we got a nice Saturday coming up on Saturday, February 27th, with the Fountain of Youth and the Southwest. They're finally going to race the Southwest at Oaklawn Park due to all that bad weather. So there's my selections. Be looking for Fountain of Youth video, Southwest video. We're on the road to the Kentucky Derby. It's ramping up. And I'd love to hear who you like in the John Battaglia Memorial Stakes at Turfway Park. Go ahead and leave your comments in the comments section below. Best of luck to you. Good luck to you. Hopefully, if you play, you cash a lot of winners. And until next time, this is the Weekend Handicapper. Happy handicapping, smart wagering.